my channel. So as you guys can see from the title of this video, I'm going to be taking you guys through my breakfasts for this week. So I've got 5 breakfasts that are honestly like my favourite go-tos, and they're super easy and quick to make, so I thought I'd share them with you guys. I haven't actually planned out exactly what I'm going to have each day this week, but I know what I want to have overall in this video, if that makes sense. But we'll just see how everything goes, so without further ado, let's just get into this video. So for Monday's breakfast, I am actually already filming on Sunday evening because it is going to be some overnight oats. These have become like my favourite things to have recently. It's just so easy and quick. Like once I'm back at uni, I'm going to have them like all the time, because it just means if you've got an early morning lecture or you're wanting to go into the library early, you can just get up, get ready, and then just take a jar of overnight oats with you and have it when you're in uni, and it just makes everything so much easier. And it's super filling, so I couldn't recommend it enough for like long busy days. So I'm about to go prep that for tomorrow morning, so I'll show you guys how I make my overnight oats. Also, I forgot to say in the last clip, but obviously my hair is wet because I just got out of the shower. So just ignore that. I just used this Kilner's jar. I actually bought it off Amazon really recently because I was just using like little tubs before and it wasn't able to hold as much, and also like, you know, the aesthetic of having an overnight oats is just not the same. So I recently got this off Amazon, but they come with a lid, and then also I've taken it off for now, but a little like band goes around it with a spoon, so it's really easy. So you can just chuck it in your bag and you've got like a spoon in place next to the jar and everything if you're taking it on the go. I kind of measure it, I kind of eyeball it, so I'll just see how everything goes. So let's just get started and make some overnight oats. So to start off, I add about 50 grams of large rolled oats. I just like them large. Oh my god, I'm just realizing what it sounds like, but I don't know why, I just like it better. And then I add some chia seeds. I just put like a couple of teaspoons in, so it's about like 15-20 grams of chia seeds. If you can see on the jar, it says chia seeds. That wasn't me, it was my mum. And then just give this a good stir before adding a handful of sultanas. You can also use like raisins or whatever. And then I also add some cinnamon. And then once again I mix it all together. And then add a few scoops of vanilla yogurt. This is just the Alpro one. And then to finish it all off, I add about 100, maybe 120 grams of dairy-free milk. My favourite is the Alpro unsweetened oat. It just tastes the best in tea, which is probably why I like it the best. But then I just once again give it a final good stir. You could also like put the lid on and shake it if you want, and then just add more oats or more milk depending on whether it's thick enough or not. Like here it's slightly too thin, so I added more oats, and then chuck it in the fridge overnight and you're done. You can just grab it the next morning. So the next morning, just grab it out of the fridge and you can add whatever toppings you want. I mean, overnight oats is such an easy thing to make, you can just add and do whatever you want with them. I personally like to add a banana, so I first off mix all through, make sure it's the right consistency, adding more milk if it's too thick, and then I cut up a banana, and usually a big banana like this one is too much, so I just save half of it just to eat along with it with my breakfast, and then just chuck the banana slices in, and then I like to top it off with some almond butter. This is the pippa nut one. It is my favourite. It has no palm oil in it and it tastes so amazing. I love it so much. So then I just made myself a cup of tea. I make myself like one every day, so I'm only showing it on Monday for you guys, but I just used the Alpro unsweetened oat milk as I said before. And yeah, that was my breakfast for Monday. It's super filling and I love it so much. So on Tuesday I decided to make myself some pancakes because my nephew was staying with us. So I just added 75 grams of flour. Sometimes I make these protein pancakes, so I just add 10 to 15 grams of protein powder out of the flour, and it tastes fine. And then add about a teaspoon of baking powder, a pinch of salt, a little bit of cinnamon, and give that all a good stir. And then I add about 120 ml of milk just until I get the right consistency I want, and then also add a tablespoon of oil and give that all a good mix. Because my nephew didn't want any blueberries in his, I just added my blueberries on top of mine when they started cooking, but it's usually better if you add it into the mix when you've got the mix in front of you. So that tiny one is his and the big one is mine. So I just flip them when the bubbles start to form, and then I topped with some Nutella. You could always just use vegan Nutella, which I usually would use, but I'm staying at my parents so I didn't have any. And yeah, that is super yummy, and I usually add fresh fruit but we didn't have any, but that is it. Wednesday has got to be one of my favourite breakfasts of all time. I don't think I'll ever hate this breakfast, and it is porridge. I just use the instant oats that you put in the microwave just because I am lazy. So I just shove that in the microwave for about 1 minute and let it run, and then when 1 minute's up I add in some frozen raspberries and then put it in for another minute to finish cooking. Just want to say that isn't any drugs on the side there, it's just sugar that got spilt. But once that is out of the microwave, I then chop up some bananas to sprinkle on top. Usually I would just use half a banana, but this one was tiny so I used the whole thing. And then finally I top with some more of the peppermint almond butter. I basically drown it in almond butter, but it's so good. So the next one is super basic and super easy, simple. It is just some nut butter on toast. So I just put the bread in the toaster, and while it's in there I just chop up a banana. I usually only chop up half again, but since these bananas were like tiny, I used the entire thing. And then once the toast has popped up, I then add some almond butter again on it. And then sprinkle on top the bananas. And then to top it all off, I just add a little bit of agave. Obviously don't add too much because this is so sweet, but it's just really nice. So Friday was a good old smoothie bowl, so I just cut up a banana and then added some frozen raspberries, strawberries, and lots of frozen blueberries because I love it being really blueberry. It's just how I like my smoothie bowls. I then added some mango chunks, which I don't usually have, but they were in the house so I thought I'd just chuck them in there. And then a couple spoons of some Alpro vanilla yogurt, some orange juice, and then just a splash of oat milk. Try not to add too much liquid because obviously then it will be too liquidy for you to eat out of a bowl and defeats the purpose of it being lovely and thick. So then once these are all in, I give it a little shake and then blend it. I find it's quite good if it's a little bit thicker and you can slowly add more milk in and stuff, but also take a knife and kind of crush it a wee bit. I think it's the strawberries that always make mine get stuck, but once you loosen it a bit, it's perfectly fine. And then just added it to my bowl. Oh, it just looks so good. I then added some granola. This is the Aldi honey protein granola. I just love it. It tastes so good. I can eat it by itself, honestly. And then I usually add some fresh fruit on top, but we didn't have any in the house, so I just added some chia seeds, and that was my breakfast for Friday. So those are 5 of my favourite breakfasts of all time. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Also, if you recreate any of these recipes, make sure to tag me on Instagram. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. I post every Monday. And other than that, I'll see you guys next week. Bye!